is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. 3 minutes after 8 o'clock on this 28th day of December. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, good time with family?
Santa Claus does exist. He brought my Steelers a win yesterday, so go Santa Claus.
You think Santa Claus has something to do with that?
That's all I
What do you do? Tune in at halftime and say, "Oh boy, I got to do something about the Steelers here. Bob's prayers to me need to go answered."
The first half, I thought there wasn't no Santa Claus, but Santa Claus came through. Like Travis says, they're like Lazarus. They rose from the dead.
They did rise from the dead, didn't they? Hey, look, they stunk up the stadium that first half. Stunk it up.
Big Ben came through, and they started throwing that ball down the field. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So it's all good. They won the division, and now they can rest up and get ready for the playoffs. So
after winning 11, then losing 3 in a row, and then stinking up that first half, it looked like they were going to stay in that grave. But nope, they rose from the dead that second half.
All good. So Santa Claus, you came through.
All right.
So I believe.
Well, at least they'll get to that first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But you never can tell what might happen in the playoffs. Ball bounce is funny.
Depends on who they play. So, but they'll be played at home, so that's good news.
So we're playing at home?
But there won't be any fans in stands.
No fans in the stands. That's just not right.
It's hard watching those games without fans in stands.
Yeah, well, they try to do their best on television to put the crowd noise, so you feel some excitement there.
Can you imagine how crazy that stadium would have been with that comeback?
Oh, it would have been going bonkers, man. They'd have been terrible towels swinging all over the place.
Right. Would have been fun to watch, but it was a good win.
Just not the same without fans there, Just not the same.
Can't wait for the draft now. And Jacksonville's definitely got the number 1 pick.
Oh, so. yeah. They tanked for Trevor, and they tanked real good.
Yeah. Thanks to Jets winning.
But they got to put some weapons behind them. They got to get them a good offensive line. You've got to get Shad from getting Shaka Khan down there from letting his son run everything, and put a good general manager in there. If not, Trevor's going to tank in Jacksonville. If you don't have weapons around them, you got to have something for them.
It's a good start.
It's a good start if they can get them. But Jacksonville's history with the draft, they'll probably give them away for like 2 or 3 rounds, second or third round draft choices in future drafts or something like that in Jacksonville.
We've been trying to find a good quarterback since Mark Brunell left. I mean, it's been all kinds of crazy.
All kinds of veterans, rookies, all kinds of stuff. But you can get Trevor in there and give him some weapons, give him a good offensive line. Just put a serious, good general manager in there and coach in there that knows football, and just stay out of the way. Don't let family run it. Look what Jerry Jones has done to Dallas all these years.
It'll bring some excitement to Jacksonville for sure, getting Trevor Lawrence, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Because they definitely got that first round draft.
I can show you his name's already on the card.
I don't know. We're talking about Jacksonville here now. There's no telling what the son probably going there. Dad, we can probably get got a first round draft next year and a couple of first rounds over here, maybe a third round over here, and we can build for the future. So that you never can tell. You got a couple of guys there who don't have no idea what's going on with football, and they're trying to run the show. Just stay out of the way, owner's son, and just let the professionals take care of it.
I promise you, Trevor Lawrence will be coming to Jacksonville. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Can't wait. Excitement.
Be back in the stadium next August, hopefully.
Let's
hope. Get that vaccine out there. Vaccines getting all kinds of pros and cons out there. You got a lot of folks have taken it and everything's fine, and you got other folks who've gotten the vaccine and it's made them sick in all kinds of ways. So some people are having bad reactions to the virus shot. Well, just kind of like the flu shot every year, Some people get the flu shot and everything's just fine. Other people get the flu shot and they have some reactions to it. So it varies, but there are some folks out there who are getting that virus shot, and it's affecting them in negative ways. And hopefully, that it will be where the virus shots are good and continue to give people immunity so they can't get it. And hopefully by the time that end of May gets here, Memorial Day weekend, most of America will be vaccinated. Got 2 vaccines out there right now. I'm not sure if a third one's on the way. I did hear about a third one, about a month or so ago, but I haven't heard about it lately.
We'll be talking to Buddy Carter this week, so if he can give us the update on all that.
Yeah, Congressman Carter.
Somebody's going to call in today, but apparently got tied up, so
yeah.
Talk to him tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to try to get Congressman Carter on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show tomorrow morning. President Trump did sign that stimulus package last night. It was last night. He did sign it. And so now folks will get their $600 check. And there's money going out for everything. It's amazing how Congress can put a bill together for something. A stimulus package is what this is supposed to be for because of COVID-19. And you look at that bill, and it's filled with pork. There's more pork in there than a herd of pigs. If you've seen all that pork in that thing, $10 million to Pakistan, this here, this there. I mean, there's pork all through that bill.
Especially so big, nobody's read it. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, it's so thick, no one, they put it together and they vote on stuff. And if you ask the average elected official, well, I don't know everything's in there, but, the important stuff's in there.
They're going to fight for a $2,000 check instead of $600 check today. So.
Yeah, and you got
how that vote goes.
Well, you just heard that senator say, why give a $2,000 check to people who earn over $200,000 who still have their incomes and so forth? A country can only spend so much money.
Why give them $600? They're giving them $600.
Yeah, well, I don't know,
same,
Bob.
Same question should be asked for that.
Votes. I don't know. There's no doubt about the fact people need money. Okay, and the folks who need the money, need to get the money. The unemployment was continued on. That extra $300 in unemployment was continued on. But there's jobs out there, Bob, if folks just look for them and get retrained for different things. There's jobs out there, and hopefully people are working toward that goal, is trying to find something they can keep a job in instead of having to depend upon an unemployment check coming in, because eventually they will run out.
I hear from a lot of business owners it's hard to find people to work these days.
Hey, I've advertised for a position here at the radio station for a month and didn't get one applicant. Not one. I advertised here locally, and I advertised on the Georgia Association of Broadcasters website and did not get one applicant. Okay, I know that down in Brunswick, some of the radio stations down there have laid off over half of their employees. So you figure there's broadcast employees out there, but when you're sitting there receiving a $600 a week unemployment check, I say it's tax free. It is tax. People just don't realize it is. It's kind of like people at the end of this year will get their tax notice. At the beginning of this next year, and they'll see that unemployment check was considered income, and it's going to shock a lot of folks. It is considered income. Check with your tax professional for the expert advice on that, because I'm no expert when it comes to taxes. I have to hire somebody to do mine, and which is pretty simple. But that's what I was hearing on one of the newscasts the other day, was the fact that folks may get shocked that, January, February, March, and April of this next year is the fact that unemployment checks may be considered income and add to what you already have. But I don't know how all that works. I don't know, Bob. So maybe we can get a tax professional in the studio to talk about, are unemployment checks considered income? Can you be taxed on them? Are they considered income? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. But, you got a lot of folks out there who are sitting back earning at least $600 a week in unemployment. And from the state, now the federal government's adding keeping that extra $300. And they're just not motivated to go out there and try to find a job. They would have been motivated if President Trump didn't sign that bill last night. But it's amazing to me that there must be some underlying something going on there for Trump, whose team helped negotiate the stimulus package, helped negotiate the $600 stimulus check. to folks to receive, then and then at the last minute say, no, I don't want to sign it because I want folks to have $2,000. That surprised me from President Trump. You're figuring a businessman, he'd be more conservative. Knowing the fact that you can't spend yourself into success. You just can't do that. You can't spend next thing you know, inflation will be out the roof. You'll be owed so much, but. There must be something else he held. There's some underlying things going on, Bob, that we just don't know. He's holding out for something. He's doing something. He got something last night.
I know several people that hadn't even got the first stimulus check.
They haven't?
They haven't.
Why?
I don't know. I thought they need to contact their Congress.
They haven't? I mean, sheesh.
I've talked to several that haven't got it.
Mine was just deposited in my checking account.
Mine too. So
yeah, it was just right there. Bing.
I guess there's some that haven't got it.
Say thank you. But they're supposed to be voting this week to increase it from the $600 to $2,000 as a standalone bill. But it amazes to me, I've never seen the Congress ever put anything standalone, hardly. Usually they throw this little pork thing in there, that little pork thing in there. I'll vote for it if you do this for me. We need a new museum in this town. Will you put some money in for that? We need a new bridge over here. We need some roads over there. This country needs some extra funds over there.
Well, we'll see how the vote goes today.
Bills in Congress are like sausage. You really don't want to know what goes into it. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
Well, apparently, the Republicans are against the $2,000, but Trump's
they are because of
the Democrats are saying, sure, we'll bump it to $2,000.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely want the $2,000.
I see if the Republicans vote with the president or they go against the president today. So that's vote going to take place today. So that'll be a fun vote to watch.
Yeah, it will be a fun vote to watch. It's just that I guess if they put a bill where the $2,000 would go to people below a certain income or things of that sort, and I thought what the stimulus checks were, I thought it was below a certain income, but apparently not. But I don't know. People always seem to spend to their income level, Bob. If you make $200,000 a year, you're spending close to $200,000. If you make $20,000 a year, you're spending close to $20,000 a year. People always seem to spend to their income level, so everybody's in need of that extra stimulus check, whether it's $2,000 or $600. Not everybody, but most people. But did it surprise you that Trump said that, no, I'm not going to sign it because of I want everybody to have to? I would just really shocked me. It really shocked me that he said that. It must have been something else going on there. I don't know. He was either trying to get back at somebody or there's something that was done on the table. I just, especially when your own team negotiated that $600.
Well, the people that really need it, $600 ain't going to do much. I think that's what he's looking at. I mean,
but it's his team, and his team, when he helped negotiate, should have said right off the bat, $2,000.
He didn't negotiate it. They said he wasn't.
They said he had no, he didn't do it. His team
they
did.
said he wasn't nowhere to bid. That's what they're upset about. They feel like they got blindsided.
Well,
they said if he wanted $2,000, he should have been in there negotiating going from the get-go. But so we'll see how it plays out today.
We'll see how it plays out there. There's so much that goes on behind closed doors.
They say all the time,
we don't know what's
politics and BS. That's what it is.
Okay, politics, huh? It's just politics, Bob. It's politics.
Politics and BS. That's what it is.
Oh, boy. Sometimes it's amazing that government's work.
Goes back to that 1776 musical song, Politics and... That's what it's all about. It's been that way for a long time.
That's politics in every country throughout the history of country. Politics. Yeah. Do you know how to run the politics? I'll give you this if you give me that. I'll do this if you do that. Yeah. Little backdoor deals going on. Maybe that's going on. I don't know. But I'm totally ignorant on it.
At least he's coming to get involved in this election on January 4th. That'll be a big rally in Dalton, Georgia. So
in Dalton's where he's going to be?
That's where he's going to be.
The president's going to be in Dalton, Georgia on next Monday, one week from today.
Yeah. The election's a week from today. Again, early voting picks up again today. Early voting's been good at Wayne County.
I know, been racking, stacking, and packing there around that courthouse for early voting.
So that's good to see that turnout. So
I'll do it like I did last time. See, on election day, everybody says, "Oh, you wait on election day, you go up to stand in line." But every time I rode by the courthouse, the 3 weeks before the general election, there was a line. Okay, I go walking in at my polling place on election day on November whatever day it was, 2nd, 3rd, whatever. I walk right in, walk right up the table, sign the thing, get my thing, walk right over. I had to wait. People say, "I can't believe you're gonna wait to election day with that long line." There was no line. There was none. I didn't have to wait in the table. I didn't have to wait for a booth.
I just like voting on election day.
To me, I'm the same way. Election day, that's when votes should be taking place, is on election day. There's way too much hanky-panky that goes on the weeks. I think, a lot of people think, I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of folks out there who think there's a lot of hanky-panky that goes on the 3 weeks leading up to it. A lot of people are just, But, with 300, over 300 million people in this country, and I don't know how many's over the age of 18 and above, 200 and something, I guess. I guess you got to have more than just one day to vote. Yes. 3 weeks is a long time. But that's what we've got, and that's what we got to live with, Bob. And, if you take a look at the courthouse, it's pretty busy there all day long. Can you imagine all those folks in line on that one day, on election day, with this many people in the country now? It's not like it was when the country was first formed over 200 years ago.
It's just good to see a good turnout. Hopefully it'll pick up this week. I think it's just Monday through Thursday this week. I think they're closed New Year's Day. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they're closed New Year's Day. Yeah. Monday through Thursday. Right. Well, I had the opportunity to have Christmas at my dad's house with his wife, Mary. And for the first time in a long time, both of my sons were there with their families. Usually they're at another parent's house, or they're at another relative's house, or they're somewhere else, and so we have to kind of stagger it right there. But this time, it was me and Dad and Mary, and then Matt and Mandy and the 5 boys, and my son Chad and his wife Catherine, and then Mary's side of the family was there also with her daughter and 2 grandkids, and so it was great. It was great having a family there, and it was just close personal family. All right, so we followed CDC guidelines, Bob. It was close personal family. Yeah, we didn't have a ton of folks there, just us, and it was great.
Got cold though. The rain the night before Christmas Eve. It was pretty bad rain. So
yeah, well, this week's going to be kind of a carbon copy of last week. Beautiful Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday, like last week, the rain starts moving in. We got a 50% chance of showers. We got a 30% during the day on Thursday, New Year's Eve, 50% that night on Thursday night, and then a 60% chance of showers in the morning on New Year's Day. So it moves in late Thursday afternoon into the night, into the New Year's Day morning. So it's a good thing that we're all practicing social distancing and staying away and not going to be outside because we could be wet.
New Year's Day is nothing but football.
Nothing but football. The big F football.
The big game's on. Georgia kicks it off at 12 noon and 4 o'clock. Alabama will kill Notre Dame, and then Clemson will beat up on Ohio State, and then Clemson and Alabama will play January 11th.
Yeah. There's so much talk on our AM station, Wayne County's heritage radio station, Fox Sports Radio 1370 AM The Buzz, WLOP. If you love sports, you need to tune into AM 1370. And there's every single one of the hosts on there, from Clay Travis to Dan Patrick to Jim Rome to Chuck Oliver. All of them are screaming for we need an 8-team playoff. We can get a couple of Cinderella teams in there, at least one, spread it out a little bit. We've had basically the same 6-7 teams in the playoffs ever since it was formed several years ago.
Yeah, the other argument, though, is you could have 20 teams in the playoffs still come down to Clemson, Alabama this year. That's the bottom line.
Well, you think that going into March Madness, and you have someone like a Butler or someone like that comes up there and just shocks everybody. You don't know, Bob. At least you try. You spread it out.
Like I said, it's a no-brainer to go to 8 with the 5 conference champions and 3 at large.
3 at large, yeah.
But they're not going to do it because, as they mentioned, the people in the committees that make up they got it like they want it. Just like they changed the rules to let Ohio State in because it's all about money.
It's about the money, honey. Well, you make more money with
they let Ohio State in because the Big Ten wanted their part of the pie. So they want their money. So
it's always about the money.
It's always about the money.
Always about follow the money trail, follow the story. We learned that in Journalism 101.
But the committee's got egg on their face. I mean, they put the number 4 team in there, and it's their 21-point underdog in the game. I mean,
Notre Dame, 21-point underdog.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, speaking of Notre Dame, I happened to be flipping around yesterday when I was watching football and came across on Channel 22. They had an ESPN Classic with the rivalry between Notre Dame and Miami back in the late 80s.
Oh,
yeah. The 87 game, which Miami won.
Convicts,
and then 88, that guy who was basically owed a lot of money on a bad investment, came up with a T-shirt idea, him and his buddies of Catholics versus the convicts, and sold those T-shirts, and he sold some other T-shirts, and that just became a national phenomenon. And the quarterback for Miami, I just thought of it.
Bernie Kosar?
No. Walsh. Walsh said, we probably had more Catholics on our team in Miami and they did in Notre Dame. But it didn't matter. It was the Catholic school versus the convicts down there because they had a couple of Miami Hurricanes arrested there before the season started, kind of like Georgia does, a lot during the summer, And so they came up with that. And that's just a catchy thing. They sold every T-shirt they had. It was a collectible item. They had an interview with Brent Musburger. As an older guy, I don't know how many years ago they put this thing together, but he still had his, okay? But that 88 game in which Notre Dame won 31-30, Miami had a chance to tie the game there at the end. And Jimmy Johnson went for the 2 instead of 1. There was no overtime at that time. And Jimmy Johnson said, I didn't go there. I went there to win. And Lou Holtz said if it had been the other way around, he'd have done the same thing. But the defense for Notre Dame recognized the play and stopped it, and Notre Dame won 31-30 and then went on to win the national championship. Jimmy said, if we'd have tied it up, then we would have stayed number 1 and we would have won the national championship. And Notre Dame would not have won the national championship because both of them won after the rest of their games, including their bowl games. But that was a heck of a scene.
Yeah, they had a big fight before the game.
Big fight.
Lou Holtz tells the story that he got his team back in the locker room after the fight broke out before the game, and he told me, he said, look here, that's not Notre Dame football. We don't do that. We don't fight. We'll fight after the game in the parking lot, and if we do, just leave Jimmy Johnson's. But for me, I'll take on.
And they went bonkers. They showed that. They showed that. The team went nuts, right. They thought they were in a lot of trouble. He's in there just reprimanding them, and then he says that, and the team went bonkers, and everybody knew they were going to win the game.
And Lou Holtz says, believe me, I didn't want to part of Jimmy Johnson.
Lou Holtz was a skinny little scrawny thing back then. Well, that was a heck of a setup, and the next year it was a big game down there in Miami, and then I guess the college presidents thought that maybe the tensions were too high between the two teams, and they stopped that rivalry.
That was a great rivalry.
In 1990. Yeah. But I didn't realize that Brent Musburger was on that CBS NFL show from 73 to 1990. I knew he was on there a long time, but I didn't realize it all the way to 1990.
And he's still doing games. He's still the voice of the Raiders on
Yeah, he's the voice of the Raiders.
And still has his gambling side. He's a big-time gambler.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been into big-time gambler his whole life. So he's just
the reason why he had Jimmy the Greek on the show.
Yeah, he just turned it into business. He has a gambling line that he gives all his picks. And he lives in Vegas, and so he can gamble legally now, whereas in the past, I don't think it was legal. But he did it anyway.
For entertainment purposes only.
Brent Musburger. That was a great show, NFL Today show.
Yeah, it was. It was a good show. And I enjoy watching Fox NFL Sunday, with Howie Long and Terry Bradshaw and Strahan, the gang there. They just they do a great job. And Jimmy Johnson down there in the Keys coming in via satellite there. It's just a great show. They kid around and tease around, and they just have a good time with there. You get the ins and outs of the games, but you also get some lively entertainment with some guys just razzing each other, and it's fun.
Bradshaw's just making money. hand over foot. He's got his new show, The Bradshaw Bunch. Have you watched that? That's a crazy show.
What is the Bradshaw Bunch?
It's about him and his family and his daughters, and they live out on the ranch in Texas. And it's just,
there's a TV show called The Bradshaw Bunch.
Yeah, he's got his own reality TV show. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, it's hysterical.
Oh, well, if Bradshaw's involved, it's hysterical.
Must-see TV.
Who was it? Hollywood Henderson's back when they were playing said Bradshaw couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the T.
Yeah. He got the last laugh on that.
Yeah. And then years later, Terry Bradshaw interviewed Henderson on the NFL show about it.
Bradshaw showed up in big games. He was 4-0 in Super Bowl.
Yeah. Got them 4 rings.
Yeah.
How do you think Tampa Bay is going to do? They're in the game.
They're going to do pretty good because Brady's still Brady. He still has Gronk and has the weapons. So, I mean, Tom Brady, who won that deal? Tom Brady won that deal. New England, how's Cam?
Well, Brady was smart. He went to a team that had tons of weapons around. He didn't go to Jacksonville. He went to Tampa Bay. They had all
about X's and O's, about Jimmys and the Joes, and Brady's still a winner.
He's the Jimmy and the Joe.
Brady can play. He left Belichick with Scam Newton, Patriots, not even making the playoffs. First time
since forever. 2008 or something like that.
Crazy stuff. So.
Yeah. And we do want to say good luck to Pierce County. I think you said they play Wednesday.
They play Wednesday.
Wednesday.
12
Pierce County playing at 12 noon for the state championship.
Yep.
And they are playing. I got the list right here. I can't remember who they play. Oconee County.
Yep.
Up there right below Athens.
Be a good game, though. Oconee's a good team, but that's a wild game. Get a chance to go watch Pierce win that semifinal game. They had a wild night at the end of it. Crisp County went crazy and came in and crushed the holding the PAT on the final touchdown, and a fan got into it with a player.
A fan did?
A player hit the
fan.
fan.
The kid's dead.
The kid got arrested. Spent the night in Pierce County jail.
The kid?
The Crisp County player. Yeah.
That hurt the kicker?
No, they punched the adult. No, he punched the adult.
He punched the adult. So he spent the night in jail.
Yeah, those banners on the side of the fence where they'd have the senior fan of the Crisp County after the game was going over there trying to tear down those banners. And a fan came over there and said, "Don't touch the banners." And the kid welled off and hit the fan.
Oh.
Spent the night in jail. So it was a crazy game. I think they said Chris got penalized 32 times in that game.
Wow.
They're a very undisciplined football team.
How'd they get that far then? They were that undisciplined.
They were not. They had athletes.
Yeah, apparently they must have had a lot of good Jimmys and Joes.
They were bigger, faster, stronger than Pierce County, but Pierce County was disciplined and played better than they did. So good luck to Pierce County tomorrow at Wednesday at 12 noon. So it should be a good ball game.
I think they're their only team from this area, aren't they? I've got the complete listers here.
I've been Warner Robins wins.
Yeah, Warner Robins wins from our region.
This is the 4th straight state title game they played.
It's about time they win, right?
They're 0 for 3.
Come on, Warner Robins. Say that we had a good region.
It'd be nice to see them go ahead and get that monkey off their back and get that ring and get that state championships.
Yeah.
Pulling for them, but they'll have a tough game against Cartersville. Cartersville's a good football team.
Yeah. No surprise, Buford's in the playoffs.
University of Buford. They destroyed Valdosta. I mean, that was a whipping.
And guess who's in the top playoffs? Good old Grayson with that California quarterback.
Right. He's going to Miami.
He's going down to Miami.
Go figure.
Well, Bob, we're out of time. Anything else on your mind this morning? We're going to do our best to line up Congressman Carter for tomorrow morning's world-famous Butch and Bob Show. And hopefully he'll be available to do that, to talk about this stimulus bill and other things going on in Washington, in the swamp.
I'll take the 2,000.
I'll take the 2,000. Bob says I ain't being greedy. I'll take the 2 if you want to give it to me. All right. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, Local Boys Construction, and also brought to you by First Southern Bank.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.